What's up guys, it's Matt, and today the developers dropped an official response to the recent criticism on Reddit. I'm not going to go over everything as a lot of it is just words of gratitude for playing the game, but they essentially gave us a list of what's coming soon. Firstly, they've stated a back-end update coming in 2 days from posting this video. It's very vague on what's getting done, which is essentially developer talk for we can't do much in 7 days, so they left a lot of the details out, but they listed the bug for saving 2 stacks of consumables in a loadout will be fixed. For those unaware, essentially if you save 2 items in a loadout and buy the loadout, it will purchase the consumables but not equip them. They also listed a lobby bug causing players not to be able to connect to servers. Then they say general stability and system resilience improvements, which are just buzzwords that they've done something else. They also mentioned a hotfix which hasn't yet passed certification. If you didn't know, if you fully release a game out of early access, you can no longer just release an update. The update needs to be certified before you can release it. These certifications are put in place to protect the players, as well as many other things I don't want to list as it's not very relevant. But they said they want to hopefully release it next week. The listed fixes are crashing from opening the map during an active banishment. This is something people all over the subreddit are complaining about. Mission summary bug, something I experienced myself, essentially is unavailable and they're hoping to fix that. Currently, right now, the only fix I know of is restarting your game. Scope views are sometimes rendered with heavy blur. If you haven't seen this yet, here's an example posted by a user. Essentially, it looks like the outer blur that's supposed to blur the background is also blurring the scope. And lastly, they mentioned the region lock. As of right now, you are able to connect to other regions even when above the ping limit. They also listed a bunch of other changes coming in future hotfixes, but these are weeks out in the future, so I won't go over those here, but feel free to pause and look them over. They then brought up the UI, which they said apparently hasn't been an issue for new players, but mainly just the veteran players complaining about the adjustment. And they gave us not a specific date, but an idea of when the UI adjustments will be released, coming with the release of an updated Stillwater Bayou map, which essentially means 1 month into the event. If you didn't know, whenever an event goes on, they usually don't update the game until a month deep into the event where they release a ton of fixes, and in this case, they are reintroducing one of the previous maps, but updated for the new engine. I'm pretty sure they're only dropping these hotfixes instead of waiting for the 1 month mark, as usual, is because the player base's frustration is making the situation that dire. Lastly, they mentioned the problems AMD GPU users are having with blacked out shadows. They basically said your card is outdated for Hunt Showdown, but they are investigating. In other words, attempting a potential fix so you can play without these issues, but there's no promises there. So right now it's Bug City, and I want to go over a couple other things just to make you aware so you know what to do to avoid having further issues for the time being. Here's a Psycho Ghost clip posted about a particular issue.
I was selecting a skin for a dynamite stick, and in between there's a BB skin. So I click it because I thought I have it from, you know, the event or from the Prestige rework. And a pop-up is there, and I'm like, yeah, okay, it's probably asking me to confirm the skin because there are so many pop-ups in the game right now. And honestly, that feels scummy.
If you don't know what he's talking about, if you go to your skins, you can see your skins as well as skins you don't have. And if you try to equip one of these skins that you don't own, a pop-up will show up asking to confirm your purchase, and he accidentally accepted and bought a skin, thinking it was asking him to confirm equipping the skin that he already owned. Pinned in a moderated comment, it says if you accidentally purchase a skin, you can ask for a refund and the UI will be adjusted to avoid this in the future. So for the time being, be careful when equipping skins. Next, I wanted to show another bug that another user shared. If you try to re-equip a stash item on the same slot where you have one selected, it will instead unequip that item, losing it in the process. Next, here's more of a funny bug that most of you won't run into. If you ready up for a match and then prestige so the game deletes all of your hunters, you will remain readied up despite not having a hunter, and when the match begins, this happens. I thought that was hilarious. Another thing that I thought was funny, so obviously Crytek gave us this horrible UI that we're all complaining about. In a previous video, they said they made this UI to cater to console players.
We are committed to creating an experience that is accessible and more intuitive for all our players across PC and console platforms. Since Hunt Showdown was originally designed for and launched on PC, there have been clear challenges in place from the beginning for console players. Addressing these issues has been the biggest goal of the overhaul.
Well, if you look here at this Reddit post, a user said, playing the last days with the new UI really made me wish back the cursor. It would be so much easier to navigate the filters or recruiting hunter menu with a cursor. I also deeply missed the additional info you get if you hover the cursor over an item or a trait on, for example, the map screen in-game. So please bring back the cursor on console, or at least give me the option to use a cursor again. I I thought that was crazy. I figured us PC players were just pissed because we're over here having to mouse a UI made for a directional pad, but even console players don't want this awful UI. A user tried to clap back at him, saying, "I think the filter menu is one of the few things that actually makes sense on consoles. You can navigate them really fast with RB and LB and select/deselect the filter with Y. Yes, it is a bit unintuitive." To which the original poster replies, "Who doesn't want to push 7 buttons to select the long ammo? Very convenient." Unintuitive is probably the understatement of the month. Whoever made this has probably never played a single game on console and has zero clue what the fuck he is doing. Dude, 7 buttons is crazy. Here I am complaining that I had to click a couple times to equip the gun with my mouse. Lastly, I just wanted to share something really cool with you guys. A UI artist made a mock-up, so this is fake and not coming to the game, of their vision of an improved UI 3 years ago. Someone reposted it, since now it's obviously relevant, and holy, I am impressed. This goes hard. These last 2 pictures is just showing what he did and a comparison on the old and his improved UI. All links to these posts will be in the description below. Like, subscribe, follow me on Twitch. I am live every day. Thank you, goodbye.